The following is a fan-based discussion. All materials discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, Saban Entertainment, and Subarai Productions.
Hey everybody, welcome back to In Comparison.
It has been a while since we've done this.
Thanks, Deno. Thanks, Deno. Episode 16 of In Comparison, we are comparing Gekiranger to Power Rangers Jungle Fury.
Yes, Jyuken Sentai Gekiranger versus Jungle Fury.
This will be interesting.
It'll be very, very interesting.
Should we start with the openings?
Yes.
Gekiranger wins.
Obviously.
I don't mind. I don't mind Jungle Fury's opening.
It sounds very 2007-ish.
And some of the lyrics are really unimaginative. Daishi, go away. We're here to save the day. Gekiranger wins.
I mean, of course, I haven't done all the translation for it, but it's just, it has a better tune before it.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like Blink-182. And
hey, there's nothing wrong with Blink-182.
But yeah.
Power Rangers! Moving on. Should we go into Reds next, or?
Reds. No! Well, it's over there now. Alright, yeah. Casey and John.
This is a tough one, honestly.
It's very tough. It's mostly because of the fact that Casey isn't nearly as Zawa. But John also had a while to really grow. But
Crace?
I was going to say that. Casey also had a lot of growth throughout that show.
Yeah, because he was the newbie. He was the, what do they call him? The cub.
He wasn't supposed to be chosen.
He was not. Well, he was.
It wasn't. That was supposed to be Jared.
But Jared's an asshole.
Yeah.
He didn't get chosen because Jared's an asshole.
Yeah.
So, anyway, he wasn't the first choice, but he was the best choice.
He's great. Casey's a really, really fine character. I really liked him. I really liked, his growth throughout that show. We can actually do this. We can compare them in Gokaiger and Super Mega Force, because they both came back.
Yes. I loved Casey's return in Super Mega Force.
He was great.
He
also wrote that episode.
He also wrote and directed that episode, I'm pretty sure. But Casey was a good Red Ranger.
Yeah. He got a bike. We were going to bring that up. You weren't escaping toyeticness. It wasn't needed. And you had no stock footage to use for it, so it just got to be there. And it made it was like a total of maybe 3 times.
But as a character, he was good. It was nice to see a Red Ranger learning from the other Rangers in his team.
Yeah. Instead of being...
And also just watching himself hit himself in the head with the fucking nunchucks with a football helmet on was funny.
To be fair, Jan hit himself quite a couple times with that too.
True. But he wasn't wearing a football helmet.
But John had a different background for this, because he came off as very childish.
Tarzan. He was kind of a Tarzan story.
Yeah. And then, he had to really grow throughout that entire thing. Throughout the entire show itself. And then having to especially do with the whole thing with his father, which Casey didn't have.
No. Because
Jungle Fury didn't have that last arc. So
Jungle Fury is... A kid's show in Japan is just so much more different than a kid's show in America that a story
not
like that...
to mention the writer's strike that's happening during this period.
Very true. So deep, dark arcs like that really weren't happening at that time in America, which is really unfortunate.
That happened a season later.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they came back as masters. In Super Mega Force and Gokaiger. And I think especially coming off of that, I think I appreciate John just a little bit more. Casey was very calm throughout that, and he had to teach Pink and Black Green at the very end of it. Yeah,
but Casey wasn't as calm as he was then. He was a hothead before. He wasn't annoying. He was just a hothead a newbie. So you get to see him grow from novice to master as opposed to, boy from the woods. It's just the backgrounds are there.
But
I'll say that John has a better story.
Better, at the end of the day, growth.
Better growth. But I thought Casey was a better Red Ranger.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm not going to argue that.
And since John really wasn't the leader of the Gekiranger.
That was Yellow.
So, they're two different roles that they have to meet. So I feel like it's really hard for me to choose. And I don't think I can.
I honestly only picked John if only because that last arc was great.
It was great.
and that whole connection that he had with Rio.
Yeah, and but there was more of a reason of the red versus, I'm going to say black in this case because colors, dynamic of rivalry with Jungle Fury. Was it good? No, but it was rivalry for the reason of he got picked and I didn't, between him and Jared.
Yeah, and then when it ended up coming to Rio and John, it was just like it got passed down from John's father.
Yeah. So it felt more like the connection between those two felt more realistic in Jungle Fury than it did in Gekiranger.
Yeah.
But I honestly can't pick a winner because they're kind of two different character archetypes that really don't go up against each other well.
Yeah.
But I understand why you picked John.
Yeah.
So let's go on to
Yellow.
Okay, we're going to go with Yellow.
Ron and Lily.
Ron.
Yeah. And it's not even so much a thing. It's just because neither one of them really had a lot to do. But Ron had the whole thing
of being the leader.
Of being the leader of that team. And it showed through the things that she did.
And Lily just... Now, this is not a slight to her actress or anything. She did a very good job with what she was given. But this character was not given much.
It was... The writer's strike really hurt Jungle Fury in some cases. And I get the thing that they wanted to do more with Lily. Because some of the things got brought over, like the Bad Girl episode, where they both became bad people, like bad girls throughout it. But they ended up having that whole part, and there's really nothing else to Lily's character. At least Ron had the whole thing with her mother, even though that was, a marriage traditional thing. But at the end of the day, she also had that Kendon thing with Rio and Melee at the very end of it, where she and Retsu just weren't comfortable, just automatically. And, that really ends up bringing out a lot for her character because you understand exactly where she was coming from. Yeah. Lily was a lot more forgiving in that matter.
But you can also tell she was kind of the team mom.
Yeah.
And though there was that other girl in Jungle Fury who also did that, she really wasn't much of a thing until she found out they were Power Rangers. But until then, Lily's role was mom. Okay. She was the moral compass of the team. I'll give her that much. Because RJ is RJ.
We'll talk about him in a second.
Yeah, but we'll go on to Blue now.
Retsu and Theo.
This is
similar characters.
They're very similar characters. I feel like Theo had a little bit more growth in their respective show.
Yeah.
Because Theo started off as this kind of cocky, judgmental, I want to say big-headed, but he really just has a big head. Even though he's really, 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 really short. Yeah. But... it's fucking the reverse of Bull Shark. Just
In Retsu's case, just we know that he's a painter. Like I said, a lot of the things that they had in Retsu, they brought over to Theo. With him being all about the technique and really being sort of stuck up until John.
And if you don't, and for he kind of that moment of if you don't get it perfectly, don't do it at all. And he has to be reminded you got to start somewhere. That was a whole episode with Theo when Casey got the nunchucks. And he goes, a stool can't stand with two legs. You have to. So there was more growth with that.
He is also not a twin. Yeah, that is.
Unfortunately. But another thing that I don't know if this is a plus or a minus. I think it depends on who you are. Love your AC, by the way. The romance between Theo and Lily.
Yeah.
That literally came out of fucking nowhere.
Well, no, because it was sort of hinted that Lily sort of had a thing for him the entire time. And so did Theo. In that matter, they just didn't do anything with him.
It was never really said. It was just kind of some side glances here, some long pauses there. But I feel like there could have been at least one episode dedicated to it before the end.
Yeah.
But that is another thing. That is a character dynamic between the two of them that the other two did not have.
Which was perfectly fine.
Which is fine.
Not have that.
No, some people wouldn't, but I liked it only because there was so much more history between the two of them that was explained in Jungle Fury, as opposed to the two of them in Gekiranger.
Where they're just,
co-workers.
They were friends.
They were friends and coworkers. But these two were students together, and when you spend that much time with a person, some things happen. But I think ultimately I would, unfortunately, and this hurts to say, give it to Theo. Mainly because
I don't blame you.
More growth, but it hurts.
I'm going to put them on even kill. If only because of the fact that Retsu just had so much to do with his brother.
Fair. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But let's move on.
A lot of Retsu stuff was tied in with Go, who will go ahead and do the...
We'll move on to my favorite character in Jungle Fury.
Go and Robert James.
RJ. RJ is the coolest Power Ranger ever.
He is pretty great.
He's pretty goddamn... It's nice to see, because you don't get this a lot, to see the mentor turn into a Power Ranger and stay but stay a Power Ranger and be there all the fucking time.
Yeah, he was
typically when a mentor becomes a Power Ranger, it's a once in a blue moon I will morph to. Looking at SPD. So, it was nice to see him become that. But other than the Mr. Miyagi on pot character he had, there wasn't much there.
He had the whole thing with his dad.
He did have the whole thing with his dad, which I did enjoy, as opposed to Shakeen. Love him to death, though.
Hey.
I love Shakeen to death. But it was just more of a much more character dynamic to have that whole episode of, I'm the Shark Master, you're Wolf, why weren't you Shark? Because my dad was a shark, and his dad was a shark, and all that crap.
And then, he had to go and save his dad after they got kidnapped. But,
and then he had to go save his dad after his dad got sucked into a glass eye.
But here's the thing. Then we end up having the whole thing with Go. Go has so much more of a backstory with the villain.
Yeah.
Because, they were friends. They trained together prior to this under Dan. And Go was just... He was so bitter about the fact that he wasn't chosen as... Well, Rio didn't choose him as his rival. Like, they had that flashback earlier. He was like, I view Dan as my rival. And Go was like, what do you view me as? He was like, I view you as a friend. And then we end up having... Especially at the end, after Rio becomes Gejuo, where Go is trying to make a new technique to actually go fight him, and then Rio just overpowers him.
Yeah. When it comes to a relationship between the villain, Go absolutely wins out. When it comes to a relationship with the teammates, I feel like RJ edges forward.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Because, Go's main tie is Retsu. That's his brother. That's his little brother.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he doesn't really end up interacting as much with the others. Which is no fault of his.
No, but...
This is much more of a personality thing in that case.
I think this is another one that's really hard to choose between the two. Because, again, these were...
They're great in different areas.
They're great in different areas, and once again, just like with Red, these are two different character roles between the two of them that don't really go well against each other. Because
RJ basically ends up taking the place of Master Shafu and Miki to an extent.
Yeah. But RJ, I feel like, is more of a memorable character.
I would agree.
So
I definitely agree, because I honestly still remember RJ.
RJ in his chair. You don't sit in his chair, you don't eat his chips, and you don't watch his TVs. Also, can we compare one other thing? Actually, no, we'll wait till we're done with the characters. I'll take that back. So let's move on.
Yes, we're going to go ahead and move on.
This will be fun.
To Ken and Dominic.
They both suck.
I like Ken a lot more.
Dominic was introduced too late for him to really have a character.
That's his main issue. He was like they were sort of like the same though, because they were both wanderers, but Ken was lazy. Dominic was just a wanderer.
And at least he didn't fucking sell the thing. He hid it in a booth cushion at a restaurant, which I think is funnier, honestly.
But it led to Bat Lee being a thing again.
True, but. I will give it to Ken in this one only because Dominic did not have the amount of time to really develop. And then a random, I guess, romance with the book girl. Fran. That, I would say for real this time, really didn't have much of a build up to it.
It didn't at all.
No. But, yeah, so Ken kind of gets the easy one on this one. Of course, Dominic was fighting with one hand tied behind his back because he didn't have it.
But Ken had a much more boisterous personality.
You just like the beard.
The Fu Manchu.
But
I like Ken. Ken's funny. And, that really ended up showing as soon as he came in when he and John were fighting over that Minkatsu, which looked amazing. I can't wait to...
Should we compare the Masters now?
We'll do it. We'll do it after the villains.
Okay, so, we'll do Melee first?
Sure, why not?
Melee and what's her name?
Camille.
Nice, really imaginative there. Saban, great job.
She's also 2 seasons off of where she was originally. Because she played the daughter. Camille did.
Oh.
In Magic Ranger. She played the Bat Lady's daughter.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, Melee and Camille. Very different motivations, but stemming from the same area. She got brought back by Jared, brought back by Rio. But Melee fell in love with him, and Camille just dedicated a lot of her life to him and fell in love with him later.
It started off more as a respect and admiration relationship.
Yeah.
And then it became romantic, which I honestly like better because you don't just...
this is a very Japanese thing of just falling in love immediately.
Yeah. So, I kind of enjoy that better, though Melee had so much more growth than Camille.
She had an immense amount of growth. That whole thing with Ken's sister almost killing her and not wanting to do that. Long was her main thing. Long was her catalyst of just...
Of character development.
Yeah, of character development. It really was.
Yeah.
Because once he came in, he started manipulating her like immediately to get to Rio.
And that really wasn't a thing in Jungle Fury. But here's the thing. People tried to manipulate Camille, and she did not take their shit. I will give that to her. She was much more strong-willed than Melee.
Yeah. But Melee just had... And then, when... Long was about to kill the Gekiringers at the end, she kicked them out of the way and then basically got bit in half.
Which you can't, that's not going to happen in Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just like, she did that as just a moment of self-sacrifice, so it ends up coming back to her endgame.
Whereas with Camille's case, you just get a lot of Jared!
It really was. But
because we can't have that self-sacrifice in Power Rangers.
Yeah.
We did that once, it was the 90s, we could let it go.
Speaking of which, here's the thing I mentioned earlier. In regards to their outfits after they both got the Phoenix powers, Camille gets like this fan, like the golden feathers on the back of her hair. Melee's outfit doesn't change. I loved what they did that with Camille.
I will absolutely give you that.
It was like, it's a small thing, but
it is noticeable enough.
Yeah. It changed from that curly tail of the chameleon
tail to
the Phoenix feathers. And I'll sit here like, I love little aesthetic things that make sense for this character has grown. Here's how things have changed outside of it. When Melee doesn't end up really getting that. So I was like, I will definitely end up giving Jungle Fury that just for showing that little thing.
Mm-hmm. And then we move on to...
Oh, wait. We gotta say which one we...
Oh, yeah.
Meta. She got an entire arc and so much build-up. And just so much growth.
Melee.
Yeah,
it's hard.
They're both good characters, don't get me wrong.
Oh, no, they were great characters.
But Melee's just...
Melee had Long to help her along.
Yeah, Melee... Yeah. Rio and Jared.
Jared's a bitch.
He is. I'm gonna whine about
He's such a whiny bitch.
I'm gonna whine about everything. I heard whining was great. You like the whining?
Nobody picked me. Why am I not strong enough?
And then Daishi took him over because of all his negative feelings.
That's another thing. Rio wasn't possessed. Or sorry, Rio.
Yeah.
Rio wasn't possessed.
He was doing this all for power.
He was doing this all for power because he was a power-hungry asshole.
Yeah.
Jared was possessed, so it's not his fault. No one's really...
He was a bully, and then Daishi was like, I can work off of that.
And then at the end, he's not a bully anymore. He literally says, you know what? I want to start over. I have to start learning from scratch. But, oh my god, Rio's such a better character.
Yes.
Oh my god, Jared's such a bitch!
Rio just... He had so much going for him. That whole thing...
Should we compare Daishi and Long?
We will, actually.
Yes!
But that whole thing is just like, Rio had... He had a lot of growth throughout that, especially like the whole thing with Dan, trying to get rid of their masters, Gekirin rebelling, and making their own. He wants to make everything his own.
Whereas Jared, when he gets kicked out of the head seat by Master Maku, he's like...
Grisaka.
Yeah, Grisaka. I'm just going to say Master Maku. It sounds better. He just screams until he goes... I'm learning how. All you're doing is screaming.
To be fair, Rio sort of did that too, but it was much more of a way from anger because he ends up, having constant flashbacks of the time that Long killed his family.
But I will give them this with Jared when they introduce the first master, where they go into his past and change it to make him more of an asshole. I will give them that.
They didn't change anything for Leo's past.
No.
Leo's past. It's just, that's what it was.
No, yeah, but I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do? I saved him. No, you punched him in the face. Okay, that's what happened then.
So yeah, who do we prefer?
Rio,
obviously.
He's not a whiny bitch.
Let's talk about the Masters. We're going to talk about them in general.
We're not going to do Daishi and Long first?
We're going to save them until the very end, because they're the main villain.
Fair enough. Alright, let's talk about the Masters, and we're going to do it in a general sense.
So we have the Gekiranger Masters and the Jungle Fury ones. Here's my thing with the Jungle Fury ones, especially when they end up coming to them getting their Master mode. There's no way of getting out of the Spirit Forest. But Daishi's attacking. Okay, so there is a way to get out of the Spirit Forest.
Okay, that's not the character's fault. That's just lazy writing.
Yeah, that's bad writing.
The problem is, because those three are stuck in the Spirit Forest...
We don't get anything about
them. We don't get any after that. Which is unfortunate, because I would have loved to have seen more of them. Though, didn't they come back during, like, the final fight?
They did.
Yeah. Because there's actually a way out of the Spirit Forest. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. It's called Watching the Dino movie.
But anyway, I feel like some masters are better than others in each show. I think Master Fan was better than the elephant in Gekiranger.
I will also agree because,
not
he
a pervert.
He was not a pervert. So
I honestly also, this is going to sound really bad, I liked I think they called him Master Fat, or what do they call the bat in Jungle Fury?
Swoop.
Master Swoop. I honestly liked him a little better, only because he has the whole blind thing going for him, and that's just fucking cool.
It was a thing for the bat. I liked Master Lee. He was just funny.
Okay.
He really didn't stick around nearly as much as the other masters because he actually went out and performed at places.
Fair enough.
He did sort of have a job.
I also liked RJ's dad more than Master Chan.
I put them on about even because we got
different character types.
Yeah, they're very, very different. He turned into that shark form when he was very young, and he sort of got stuck that way. So a lot of his, he didn't really grow as much mentally.
Fair enough.
But then we end up getting, all that entire thing with Jan where he really started to have to grow because he had a student now. And that to acknowledge his own faults.
Absolutely fair enough.
Yeah.
I will absolutely give you that. Whereas, the three other masters, Gekiranger wins because they actually have character.
I love Gory Yin just, because there was one time where everybody's, being super serious and everything, and he's just coming I have bananas. My recent book just sold a whole bunch, so I made a whole bunch of bananas, and they gave me 2 dogs. I named them Best and Seller, and then he was like, ha ha ha, and then everybody just looking at him, he's like, I'll leave now.
So yeah, they win because they actually have character.
And Michelle Payne.
Are we going to compare Master Mao to
Shafu?
The Master Shafu?
Shafu wins.
I'm just saying, is that what we're doing?
I mean, they're all part of the Masters at the end of the day.
I'm just wondering if those...
Yeah, we're going to do that one.
Okay. Yeah, Master Shafu wins because he's actually fucking there and
he's
not dead.
He's there always.
Though, every time I look at the goddamn Master Mao, I think of the goddamn drill sergeant from Attack on Titan.
You're not wrong. They look almost exactly alike.
And then it makes me think of Team 4 Star's Attack on Titan Abridged, which is the greatest thing ever. Sweet Mother Teresa on the hood of a Mercedes-Benz. I will watch that whenever I'm sad.
But yeah, it's just... Shafu's always there. He's always out there giving advice, helping them actually train on stuff, being a cat.
So yeah, he
was great. The weirdest thing was that at the very end, when all the masters came back, they turned into those forms, and we were all just like,
why? And then, but also, we have to give this props for props from Jungle Fury to give us the Spirit Rangers.
They did give us the Spirit Rangers.
And they looked fucking awesome.
They were very cool. I love the bat. The bat's my favorite.
Bat, yeah, of course it is.
It just looks the coolest.
It does. So yeah, that is really cool. RJ is still technically a master, so...
Long...
Before we get into Long and Daishi, if you want those to be the very end, can we compare Scratch to the Order of the Claw?
Why?
I just think there's such different concepts that I'm kind of curious what you think is better.
Well,
the more modern company that has that under thing of we're teaching Kung Fu versus the generic Order of the Claw.
I'm going to go for the modern company because they've adapted. And that way they have a source of funding because they make sports gear. Okay.
I was just curious. I'm thinking the same thing, though I think Order of the Claw is a better name.
Scratch is just great for the puns.
All right, Long and Daishi.
Technically, also Scorch, because Scorch is...
Yeah, Daishi / Scorch.
Yeah.
Long,
obviously. Long played the long game. And just manipulated everything.
And Marcus played the pun game.
I did. But he manipulated everything to get to the point that he wanted to get to.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely correct on that.
Yeah.
Long was a better villain. He was a smarter villain. He was a much more fucking terrifying villain. Why did you do this? I was bored. So, Long wins. Now,
Daishi is just... I don't really remember much about him. I remember Long. I don't really remember much.
No, because Daishi was your generic bullshit villain.
I'm going to take over this guy who bullied people because he has negative...
I want you to take over the world. Animals should reign supreme over humans.
He's like, oh wait, I'm a terrible...
terrible villain. Anyway. Story. Just saying. I thought you were going to go what story with Jungle Fury?
Jungle Fury didn't have that last arc.
Jungle Fury did not have that last arc. Jungle Fury...
It also didn't have like a real good equivalent for Long. They tried to make it with Daishi because Daishi also manipulated Jared in the past, but he didn't go to the extent that Long did. Long just manipulated everything.
Jungle Fury did not have that sense of balance. You have to learn from your masters as well as your enemies and their masters.
I think they also did that, but it just didn't work as well.
No, because they didn't learn the style of the other three.
Yeah,
that's all would have taken, and it would have been the same. It would have been a good comparison.
It did have a little bit of a better ending with them fighting all those monsters and the masters coming in and fighting them too.
Sure,
I'll give Jungle Fury that.
I'll give Jungle Fury that their masters could actually fight.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like the masters in Gekiranger
because they did not have a vow of non-violence.
No, they did not. No, so they didn't have to use ribbons.
Yeah,
this is not Goggle 5, which everybody wants us to review. So goddamn,
it's completely subbed.
Oh fuck,
we have to do it in some. I'm excited, but yeah, it's just.
Can that just be the live stream of us watching goddamn Goggle 5?
Like 2 episodes would be like, this is the greatest. But yeah,
computer boys and girls.
It's just because of the fact that they're missing just 2 major components. Them learning from the masters at the very end of the show. Long. Actually, they're missing 3 components. And that entire last arc. They would just miss, like, Jungle Fury. Yeah, we have to view them as 2 different shows, which is why we're doing a comparison. Mm-hmm. But it's just the fact that since they missed so much
of what made Gekiranger good.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely get that. But I think that Jungle Fury as a show on its own is still a very salad. Caesar salad. It's still a good, solid Power Ranger season. And I'm going to go home now. Because I am tired and hungry and I can no longer talk.
Yeah, it's just... At the end of the day, it's always going to come back to Gekiranger just having...
a better story.
Yeah, it has a much better story. The characters, we can give that one a toss-up. But when it ends up coming to the story, it's just... Gekiranger has that last arc, it has Long, and it has just that feeling of desperation at the very end.
One thing we did not compare, and I felt like we should have. Morphers.
Oh! Yeah!
Sunglasses.
I don't like them. They're well designed.
No, they are very well designed, but great idea on paper for the Go Busters adaptation.
Yes! It was not a good idea for this one because you're coming off of a tracksuit, martial arts themed thing, and you decide to go with sunglasses? Why?
Because fucking...
Solar morphers? This is what they call them, by the way.
Because they're solar powered, I guess?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the morphing sequence, and I'm talking about the actual, like, animation, I actually prefer Jungle Fury.
I won't blame you. It looks cool.
It looks really... As opposed to just the very simple... motion. They're doing all this fucking shit going down a goddamn hill. And I like the idea of spirit animals, honestly, that they could summon them, which I don't remember.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, but I felt like that was more of a plot point in Jungle Fury.
Oh yeah,
which I thought was cool. And that I also like that scene when Casey went to go get the girl for the glass eyes, and he goes, he talks to her, and he's like, "Oh, so your spirit animal's a dolphin? That's nice."
Also,
just shows where he's got how
weirdly the thing with Jellica, the way they get rid of her, she's like Scorching the others come in and just like
bye.
But in this case, Long murders her.
Murders her dead.
Murders her liquid.
I was gonna say murders her wet. That was gonna sound really bad.
And of course, just the ending of Ryo and Melee versus Jared and Camille, just like, hey, we're just gonna go ahead and
die.
Yeah, we're just gonna blow up and get bit in half stuff. But yeah, overall, definitely Gekiranger.
Overall, definitely Gekiranger, but God, Jungle Fury did a damn good job.
It did okay.
I think it did a good job with
it did okay with what it was given during the registration.
That's what I was saying. It did a damn good job with the bad things that they had to deal with at the time, and the things that they knew they couldn't adapt.
Yeah.
But I still love Jungle Fury. It's one of my favorite Power Ranger seasons, honestly. Especially now that we're talking about it more, I remember how much I like it. So let us know what you think in the comments below. What do you think is better? What did you think of Jungle Fury? We are planning a live stream since we met our Patreon goal. Let us know what you think we should do during said live stream.
Join us in episode 17 when we do Go Under versus RPM.
Yes!
That is the other one that everybody has been really waiting for.
And so have we, motherfuckers!
Because after that, we're doing Shinkenger versus Samurai, and then we're doing Megaforce versus Go Sager, the Super Megaforce versus Go Kaiger. And then, who knows, maybe by that time, the Go Busters one will actually come out, that is.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see you guys next time. As always, follow, like, subscribe, all the good shit. Bye, everybody.
Bye.